We are back on Station 655, The Minoc, your favorite talk radio program for the brave soldiers of the Republic. From Coruscant to the far reaches of the Outer Rim, we have thoughts and opinions, and we want to hear from you. I'm your host, CT1586, aka Slackjack. Before we get started, I would like to address the leaked audio of my outburst from a few months ago. I apologize for my behavior. It was immature and unprofessional. Regardless of my state of mind and my health at the time, there's no excuse for that. I apologize to TC76B, our sound editor, and my assistant Rags. I apologize for my outburst. Now let's move on. Today, our guests come all the way from Coruscant. Please welcome Commander Caseus Ershon and Commander Serra Keto of the Jedi Order. Thank you two for being on the show. Well, I've been listening for a while, so when I got the call, I was all for it.
Nice to meet you, Slack. Glad to be here.
A pleasure. Let's get to the questions. From CT8765 Ran. I have a general question. What the is a Caseus? What? What kind of question is that? Well, I'm a human. I'm a Jedi. I'm a commander. I think that about sums it up.
You're also the second best student Drolig has trained.
Whoa, second? Whoa, easy. Actually, Commander Keto, this next question is directed at you. From Captain Procyon. Hello, Caseus and Serra. This is Captain Procyon. My questions are mostly directed at Commander Keto. I'm not sure if I have this right, but I believe Commander Keto is the apprentice of Master Drolig, who is well known as the most proficient duelist in the Order. What is it like to learn from him? Do you believe you stand up to his level? I have also heard that there are 5 or 6 forms of lightsaber combat. Does Master Drolig know all of them? Do you know all of them?
Training under Master Drolig is a privilege. It's not often you're selected to train under the Temple's greatest swordsman. He can be strict and a bit overbearing, but never cruel. Do I stand up to him? Not yet. As for the forms of lightsaber combat, there are 7, though most are only permitted to learn 6 of them. Master Drolig is well versed in every form to my knowledge. You'd have to be crazy to challenge him. As for myself, I have a basic knowledge of most of the forms, but my specialty is Form 4.
Our next question is from Zachary Wagster. Hello, Caseus and Serra. From my understanding, you two have known each other a very long time, and my question for you two is, how did you two meet? And did you two get along initially? If not, why? I met Serra when I was 16. I had just finished exercises with Master Takai, and she introduced me to Master Drolig, who introduced me to Serra. We were put into an impromptu sparring session with each other.
Which I won, by the way.
You want to tell the story? Anyway, later that night, she leaves a message telling me to meet her in the training grounds after dark. She goaded me into a rematch.
Which I would have won if our masters didn't catch us.
Oh, sure, like I didn't completely catch you off guard before they intervened.
I remember it a bit differently, but continue.
Right. Anyway, I took the blame for the fight, and Serra ended up putting in a good word for me with Master Drolig for his advanced lessons. The whole Dravok thing happened shortly after, and we grew close over that time. I'm glad I met her.
I didn't always see eye to eye with Caseus, but I'm glad I met him too.
From the Serpent. How do you think the Jedi Council members would individually respond to the knowledge of your relationship? Relationship? We're Jedi. We don't form attachments like that.
Yeah, and besides, who's gonna listen to a snake anyway? Mind your own business.
Whoa, easy. We'll move on. From Brandon Ailman. Ailman? I think that's how it is. Yeah, Brandon Ailman. Hello, Caseus and Serra. I'm from the planet Earth? Earth? Is that as in the Milky Way galaxy, which is far from your galaxy. My master Jacob Wilson has been teaching me about basic lightsaber forms. Do you know some tips and tricks that could help me? Best advice I can give is to know your weapon inside and out.
Agreed. Your lightsaber should feel like an extension of yourself. Not just a weapon, but a part of you. You need to be in harmony with your saber to use it effectively.
From a Panda 02. Caseus and Serra, if you could choose any color for your lightsabers other than green, what would it be? That's tough. I'm so used to green, but maybe like a turquoise or a light blue? I don't know.
I think maybe purple would suit you well.
Purple? And steal Master Windu's thunder? No way. What about you?
I'd say if I had to choose, probably red.
Red? Seriously?
Yeah, I know. It's a Sith color, but you can't deny it looks really cool.
I mean, I guess, in a way. From Ultra Shadow 95. Hey guys, thanks for having me on today. School's been a real pain recently, so I unfortunately haven't been able to participate in a while. But other than that, it's great to be back. I have 3 questions for you guys today. 1. Recently I've been going over some old records regarding an old Jedi known as the Hero of Tython. You might also know him as the commander of the Eternal Alliance. So I'm curious, what do you two know about him? And what are your thoughts? Considering you two are Jedi yourselves, I imagine you might know some things I don't. If I'm being honest, I haven't done much research around that time period.
Neither have I. Most of my research dates back to the High Republic. I'm sure we can learn about it in the archives, though.
Number 2. I'm curious, have you guys ever imagined what your lives would be like if you weren't Jedi? If so, what do you think you would have been? I don't know. Being a Jedi is all I've ever known. Maybe a merchant or a store clerk? I don't know.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. You'd make a great bantha herder.
Oh, shut it. What about you?
I think maybe I'd have a job fixing up speeders and swoop bikes. Maybe testing one out every now and again.
Number 3. This question is a bit more targeted towards Caseus, though Serra can answer as well if she'd like. I'm sure you're both aware the Republic tends to broadcast holovids of victorious battles and whatnot. Recently, there's been a little nickname for Caseus Master going around that I don't know if you've heard about or not. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the term Mommy Takai? Yes, I've heard the nickname. So has she. As soon as she heard I was coming here, she gave me a statement to read in case this topic came up. She writes, "Yes, I am aware of the Mommy Takai nickname. While I am flattered to receive compliments, please refrain from screaming this at me while I'm conducting my morning exercises. Thank you."
I'm not even going to ask about that one.
From Cole over at Task Force Mando. Was there ever an order you had to follow but didn't agree with? If so, what could you have done differently?
As Jedi, Cassius and I have to live by a code that forbids many things offered to everyday people. Our lives are almost like an order we don't always agree with. You'll never know how often I'm off-world walking by a shop and see a nice outfit, but possessions are limited to only what we need. I sometimes see a couple strolling through the streets holding hands, and it makes me... Yeah, it's tough.
When Drybok attacked the temple, we were ordered to stay put and not get involved. But if we hadn't, things would have been a lot worse for everyone. If you know the order you're given is unjust, do not follow it. Deal with the consequences later. That's my stance, at least. We have another multi-part question here from Commander Watcher. He says, "Hello, Commander Watcher again. There's a few questions here for everyone. 1. A little while ago, a fellow commander named Faye ordered a civilian massacre, and even went so far as to threaten one of my troopers who tried to stop him. Faye has gained the complete approval of our commanding admiral. What do I do about this?" That's awful. I would bring it up to your Jedi commanders if possible. If not, request a transfer and let them immediately know what he did.
Agreed. Slaughtering unarmed civilians isn't just a war crime. It's repugnant separatist behavior. We're supposed to be better than that.
Number 2. I'm going to be working alongside some non-clone conscripts. Have you ever worked with any before? If so, what was your experience with them like? Serra and I have both worked with many non-clones during the war. Sometimes they can be incredibly valuable assets, especially if they're native to the system you're visiting.
Or if they're a Rhodian helping us after a Nexu attack.
Well, that too. Finally, I've been hearing about a group called the Commission for the Preservation of the Republic, or COMPOR for short, and I'm concerned about their anti-alien beliefs they are spreading to the Republic, which is endorsed by the Chancellor. Any thoughts? That's beyond terrible if true. Security of the Republic is one thing, but treating other sentient species as lesser is not okay. And the Chancellor is supporting this? I can't believe it.
No matter the species, we are all luminous beings in the Force. Different on the outside, but alike through the Force.
Agreed. Our final questions are from Jordan Cox. Hello, Caseus and Serra. It's great you guys have the time to appear for an interview. I have 3 questions for you two. 1. Which Jedi Masters do you have the most respect for? Outside of Master Takai, I'd say I have a lot of respect for Master Plo Koon. No matter how busy he is, he's never too busy to help out.
Definitely Master Takai. Ever since I met her, she's been nothing but supportive to me in my training. Plus, she has to deal with this clown every day. So that just makes me respect her more.
Ha ha. Number 2. Who was the toughest opponent that you fought against? General Grievous. Even with both of us there, we weren't a match for him.
I still remember the sound of my arm breaking.
Finally, number 3. Which planet do you guys believe is your favorite to have visited? It's great to have you guys here, and I hope you have a great week. I'd have to say my favorite planet I visited was Kelja. Despite what happened, seeing it as it was something else.
Agreed. The Oracle's tree was massive. Watching the sunset from the branches was an experience I won't forget.
Amazing. Thank you both for joining us. Our pleasure, Slack.
What do you think they're serving at the temple tonight?
Does it matter? It's never any good. Before we go, a big thank you to our sponsor, Arc Mobile, the only mobile service made by clones for clones. No more dropped calls, no more lag, only the fastest cell service offered to the brave soldiers of the Republic. Sign up now and get 20% off your first 2 months when you use the code SLACK20. Arc Mobile, because your service should be as reliable as your men. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll be right back with more after this.